What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy. Now we're talking Star Wars. I'm mainly doing this because people like to be stupid online. That's the main reason I'm doing this. But anyways, let's get right into it, shall we? Ahsoka. Ahsoka started out being one of the worst viewed shows on Disney Plus. Like, this was a show that was supposed to help save Disney, save Star Wars, do all these gangbusters. And it started out, and I'm gonna quickly jump over here, being lower viewed in its first week than Mandalorian season 3, which was one of the lowest viewed shows of all time. So it already started off with nobody really watching it, nobody really caring, nobody interacting with said show. Okay, and I'm using Samba TV numbers. Samba TV, you can only compare Samba with Samba, and you only get these numbers if something already has Samba TV. But when you go through, and I'm giving you a casual glance, you know, this is the start, 1.2 versus Mandalorian season 3 with a 1.6, Obi-Wan with a 2.14, even Boba Fett started off with a 1.7. Okay, like, the show has been falling apart. Disney Star Wars has been dying, is the long and short of it. So this is where you begin. This is where you end. 863,000 viewers. Okay? We've established that nobody really likes it. Normies are out. Everybody's out. Nobody cares about Disney Star Wars. Okay? Let it be known. And I had the majority of the Ballbusters crew watch Ahsoka throughout all of the Ahsoka run. We complained about visuals. We complained about the story. We complained about the choreography, the actual style of everything. Like, when you complain about Ahsoka, there's substance to the arguments and everything like that. It does more than just talk about the fact that, you know, Ahsoka's a whammon and Sabine's a whammon. We actually talk about their personality, their traits like that. That's what people talk about when they critique these things. You know, that's how the proper critiques work. You talk more about these superficial issues and actually about what you just saw. Remember that. Remember that. Geeks of Color writer, and I've done something on Geeks of Color before, and apparently there's an actual article that Geeks of Color put out that I'm hunting down right now. But Geeks of Color writer makes a ridiculous claim that critics of Disney's terrible Star Wars movies and shows are white supremacists. This is an ongoing thing, okay? Whenever something that we are supposed to like, we don't, it fails, whatever, we're the ist or the isms. Even though I can point, everybody basically has unanimously agreed that Ahsoka was dog shit. Let's just be real here. But let's see what happened, shall we? Let's see what this wonderful individual put out. Geeks of Color writer Andreas Cabrera, I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to give him the time of day. Recently made the bizarre claim that critics of the Walt Disney Company atrocious Star Wars movies and television shows are white supremacists. And here we go. I'm telling you, this gets beautiful. Andreas, weird dude, took to X to assert his claim, writing, "A lot of people forgot this, but there's a direct correlation between the white supremacist crowd and the unbridled hatred of the Star Wars sequels. I saw it in real time as they scouted out the Star Wars fandom as a potential haven for spreading their message of hatred." A thread. Wait, what? No, all this is actually false, and all their signs actually end up pointing to falsehoods. Because when somebody talks about the sequel trilogy, they can point to you several things that just fell flat in the sequel trilogy. From the fact that they misused Finn. Finn should have been actually like the main star. Rey had no training whatsoever, but was just already a gangbuster. The treatment of Han, Luke, and Leia, Ben Solo being a crybaby, the list goes on and on. That doesn't even get to the actual meat and potatoes of like a lot of the decisions made in Star Wars and how the world was like just bastardized. But let's see what he has to say, shall we? It started with the straightforward racist approach of hating The Force Awakens because a black stormtrooper was one of the leads of the movie. So, full stop. Nope, didn't happen. Actually, what happened was there was probably a handful of people, 1, 2, 3, maybe, people saying that it's bad because of that. But in reality, because nobody has ever actually been able to point to a tweet, what the actual discussion was coming off as, hey, I didn't think stormtroopers could be black. They thought they were clones, considering the Clone Wars. Not a whole lot of people knew the lore. Not a whole lot of people knew the fact that no, clones were actually not being used anymore. Everyday people were stormtroopers. So there's that. That became one of the topic of discussion. Not the fact that he was black. That's besides the point. When the target audience didn't fall in line with the blatant racist take, they moved on to good old-fashioned misogyny. They hated Rey because of a massive point for Star Wars channels as soon as The Force Awakens came out. Actually, no. When The Force Awakens came out, everybody was relatively positive. I was iffy. I'll be honest, I was iffy. There was parts I liked, parts I disliked, but looking back, I can tell you it's just a lackluster recreation of A New Hope. That's even what my father said when we were leaving the theater. We saw it opening night. Most people were positive. We wanted to know what Snoke was. We wanted to know what's going to happen with Finn. We wanted to know where everything was going. Then you get that shot of Luke being given the lightsaber by Rey, and you wonder what's going to go on here, what's going to happen, what's happening next. Like, people were positive, people were curious where it went, and it went straight into the trash can. But nobody was angry about The Force Awakens after the fact. At the time The Force Awakens came out, people were curious. It wasn't until The Last Jedi came out that people realized, no, this was all dog crap. But anyways, nearly every corner of Star Wars YouTube featured this targeted campaign against Rey. Nope, did not happen. Actually, people were very curious what's going on there. They wanted to know about her lineage. Guess what? It went from being nothing to being something, which was garbage. They wanted to know, who is this character and why does she have a connection with the Force? Where does she come from? All this stuff. They were setting up interesting areas that ultimately weren't used. This coordinated effort created similar talking points with different variations in order to spread across online spaces. Nope, didn't happen. Full stop, lie. An important thing to remember is that these takes came from the same people, the same ones who were screaming and crying because there was a black lead in Star Wars movie, came from the same spaces as the originators of the hate movement against Rey. That's who we're dealing with. Nope, all that is wrong. All that is a lie. All this is just you making up weird headcanon to justify hating on YouTubers that are doing better than you. Because to be frank, I've only been to your website once to read an article that was filled with just racial CRT garbage throughout the whole thing, crying about black people being oppressed and things like that. That's what your whole thing was built on, is social justice, identity politics nonsense. So there's that. After The Last Jedi, all hell broke loose. The message became even more effective with camouflage talking points that were made to seem more sensible and relatable while still harboring the same theme. They sugar-coated the brazenness of their contentment to appear more reasonable. Or The Last Jedi was just garbage and people were just saying, so, this thing, bombers in space, being able to, use all of a sudden hyperspeed to, the Holdor maneuver, hyperspeed into kamikazing something that apparently does not destroy the entire galaxy with how that stuff works, things like that. Mary Poppins, Princess Leia, the treatment of Luke, actual stuff that we can point to. Oh no, we were just racist and sexist. Remember that. Remember that. After The Last Jedi, I already read that. The problem is the sentiment is still alive and growing within the Star Wars community. We saw it with the hatred against Reva and Obi-Wan. They go to the same talking points every time because they don't actually have an argument. The problem with Reva was that she was girl boss that literally got stabbed in the gut, I think twice or once, and still was able to handle herself. Several problems with Obi-Wan, the treatment of Darth Vader, the treatment of Obi-Wan, the treatment of Luke again. Like, the whole story was garbage. People hated it. People hated what they got there. So yeah, Reva was just a small taste. They didn't like girl boss. You had one comment that might have been racist, but we don't even know, because I can remember the profile picture for said guy on Instagram. Look kind of blurks, but Obi-Wan, the too many females character, takes against Ahsoka, and on it goes. It has become almost imperceivable from regular Star Wars fandom. Imperceivable? I don't know if that's a real word or if I'm saying that right, but what he's trying to say is, that it's all becoming one and the same. But the thing was, like, yes, there too many females is just one factor of Ahsoka. The reality is they took each character and then started saying, yeah, this is garbage, 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 and it was just a bunch of girl bosses. That's what it boils down to. So, okay. Clearly, I'm not saying a dislike or disappointment in recent Star Wars projects automatically equates to the worst of the fandom. However, there is a distinct bad faith portion of the Star Wars fandom that has become effective in their messaging and branding as just speaking the truth. But we are just speaking the truth. It's funny. It's really funny that you can just pull up maybe an episode of Ahsoka, sit somebody down, and just point out little things, and they will go like, oh my god, this is garbage. It's funny how that happens. It's funny how the defenders of Ahsoka and the defenders of things like that actually don't have arguments. Not at all. They'll say, well, because they're doing this at the Disney parks, they want to do this in the show, but that doesn't mean that the show's good. Or because of this and this, that means it's good. And their argument is, it's just pointless. They have never been able to properly argue why these shows are good. They just say that they're good and that they like them. And all the power to you. If you like Disney Star Wars, go on ahead. Continue liking it. You're justified in liking Disney Star Wars. It's garbage, though. But I always say you're allowed to like crap. You're allowed to like this stuff. I don't have to make you hate. I'm not here to make you hate it. I'm here to just talk about it. Clearly, or Star Wars, just speaking the truth. Yeah. The truth is only grifters have grown exponentially in recent years. And it's important to remember how a lot of them choose Star Wars as their pop culture watering ground in order to cultivate further hateful themes and capture the attention of an overly eager fan base. Well, what it actually is the fact that Star Wars was just so pervasive in like American culture and pop culture as a whole that it touched generations of people. Myself, I'm more of a prequels fender. I'll outright say it. I like the prequels. I like Clone Wars. I like the OT a lot. Like, this was my generation. This was something I grew up with. This is something I had a connection to. Anakin was my hero. Even if he became Darth Vader, I viewed him as this tragic hero. I love that guy. I love that character. And then when you see these characters get treated in bad ways, maybe more of us starting to speak out because we have started realizing just how awful it is. Maybe more people are starting to agree with us because they realize we're telling the truth. You ever think of that? You ever think that maybe just more people are realizing that this is garbage and your little social justice propaganda here is actually failing? That's something else you always have to take into effect with these guys, whether it's the Mary Sue, Kotaku, IGN, so on and so forth. The geeks color, whatever. These guys are actual propagandists. These guys utilize social justice and propaganda in order to push a narrative. And the fact that their narrative has been breaking down as of the past couple of years, they're getting angry. They're getting furious with that fact. So then they're lashing out, and that's why they call you an istanism, insert phobe here. But in reality, nothing that you're talking about is actually pointing that way. Okay, they're just calling everything it. That's why when you get called it, you kind of wear it as like a badge of honor and just move on. And also, these guys are the people that have outright just destroyed the meaning of words. So there's that too. And yeah. Oh, here we go. There has been a lot of people who have pointed out this same issue, but I want to bring attention to this post by rewriting Ripley that really gets into it. So, Rewriting Ripley was a 1-episode podcast put out by actual people that were affiliated with Disney Star Wars. It was filled with blatant bullcrap, and it stars Ryan Kinnell of RK Outpost. I actually need to go find the Rewriting Ripley thing and clip it apart, because their little like trailer thing was actually beautiful, funny. It was hilarious to watch, because you get a babyface Ryan go like, "Oh, hi guys," and then he goes like, "Bah!" It was wonderful. You have this wonderful moment of Mahler talking about Baby Yoda and saying, "I just want you to die." I love it. Okay, but the thing is though, they never point to any actual thing. Like their science was even destroyed by, I want to say it was not Paladin. Aiden Paladin. Aiden Paladin actually ended up destroying their science really easily, because their science was based on Twitter at the time, which was heavily focused to the left, very small segment, and primarily female. That's where all their their science and numbers came from. It wasn't actual science. But they were also all promoted by Disney Star Wars, like outright Pablo Hidalgo, Writer's Room, actual people that work at Disney Star Wars. These people actually promoted this thing. There's ties to everybody, so this was just Disney Star Wars attacking the fan base again, like always. So the fact that he's using this blatant false information as anything of a source tells you who this guy is as a individual. But I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Let me know what you thought about this all down in the comments below, and if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Check out Coffee Brand Coffee. What's going on, guys? Listen, I don't know about you, but I like to indulge in some of the liquids of fun times, okay? And oftentimes I wake up the next day with a headache and stuff like that. And to be honest, the only way that truly helps cure these morning blues, as I would call them, would be coffee. And you know who puts out good coffee, guys? CoffeeBrandCoffee.com. Listen, Coffee Brand Coffee is an American-based company. It was founded by the Quartering. He's going out there. He just wants to sell you coffee. He doesn't want to sell you a political opinion. He doesn't care what your politicals are. He doesn't even care what your cultural opinions are, okay? He just wants to come out here and sell good American coffee sourced here in the States. It is all fantastic and amazing. You have 4,000 verified reviews. Most of them are 5-star, 4-star. People are loving this, and I don't blame them, because when you take a look at some of these flavors, you got bourbon flavored coffee. God dang, that sounds amazing. You got Gunpowder Green Tea. I like the boom boom sticks, and I want to know what's going on right there. And when I drink CoCo, I haven't drank it in a while due to the keto diet, trying to lose some weight. But when I do drink CoCo or anything like that, I like some sweetness, I like some richness, and I like some enjoyability in my CoCo. That's why I'm taking a look over here at this rich caramel CoCo. I mean, just think of how amazing it is. And guys, if you go to Coffee Brand Coffee, which links will be in the description down below, you can use coupon code BACKTACO, one word, BACKTACO, and you can get 10% off your purchase. That's coffeebrandcoffee.com, coupon code BACKTACO.